Craig Shalom, Israel, of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm Officer Badger covering for Officer Hazahab. For the night, this is Lashawan Qadash, or the Holy Tongue Hebrew language class. Okay, tonight we're going to cover two things that you see, Leviticus 23 and how to say the cadences inside of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, as I was telling the brother before we started class, we try to keep this class at a beginner level so that brothers all over who are just getting in and starting to learn can learn. Also, I personally try to, well, we all do, we all try to make sure to help brothers that are a little more ahead in preparing for their officers test and making sure they have the things they need. Right? So obviously, since we cover beginners, with that being said, the first thing we're going to start with any language class is the alphabet. What are the letters that we're using and what are the sounds they make? We're not going to get too advanced today unless we have time, but I'm going to go ahead and write them all just so I can be a bit quick about it. This is Ah, and I'm going to write them in both Assyrian and Hebrew. Salakia, I don't even want to fix that. Ah, right? This is a Ba. Right? Now, as you go ahead, as you've covered in other weeks, this is these symbols, okay? This line right here is the basis of our language system. This is the first alphabet. Now, take a look at this word right here. I'm sorry, brother, what's your name again?
Thomas.
Thomas, right? Now, this letter, right? We'll take these letters. I'm saying this is the first alphabet. This letter right here is known as they call it the Aleph, but properly pronounced it be Aleph. If y'all can't see it or if I'm writing too small for y'all, let me know on the board. Let me know in the chat. This, right, is a house. This is supposed to be an ox. So we're clear. That's what this is. This is an ox. This, Aleph, means ox, right? This is a house. Right? But when you curve it up, put a nice little door. That's a house, right? This is Ba. Now, I'm saying this is where we get alphabet from. Now, are you familiar with Greek letters? You're not familiar with Greek letters at all. Well, in the Greek, this is where the word, people, have you ever questioned where the word alphabet comes from?
I knew the first two letters.
Right. Alphabet comes from the first two letters of the alphabet, alpha and beta, right? That's how the Greeks pronounced it, right? But when you take it back to its true origins, which is the Hebrew, it's Aleph and Ba, right? This is the first alphabet, and this is where these symbols come from. Have you ever questioned, who has ever actually questioned what's going on? Before the truth, did you ever question, where did the letter A come from? Who formed this construct and said, this is the beginning of all letters? But in the truth, our ancestors just had the answer. It's an ox, right? This is the beginning of all letters, right? This is the first alphabet in history that our ancestors created. Adam created it based off things that he saw, right? So now, I'm not going to go into what each is, but I'm only going into that so we understand. As I said, this class is to help beginners so they can start their journey into understanding our language. This is Abaga, right? Abaga. This is Da. And now, if you are unaware of...
Young man, you want your name? Thomas.
Thomas, right? If you are unaware of this letter, if you do not believe in what we refer to as the Shield of David or the Magun Dawadah in the Hebrew, it shows me and tells me you do not study the Hebrew language. and you don't have access to Google, or you refuse to Google, anyone who will Google will tell you this is the letter D in Hebrew. This is what we know as the dalaf, right? In the Hebrew, it means a door or a tent door, right? Now, they try to call this. Wait, Salakia. Where's the? They try to say that somehow this is an evil symbol. Hold on, let me put this at the bottom. Right? This is an evil symbol somehow. I know that's a terrible Magandala dal, but you understand, right? They say this is an evil symbol. Well, let's go further, and I'm gonna show you how simple they actually are. Because a lot of these, let's go back so we can get an understanding of the language. All of these letters now, understand, a lot of these are prepositions. They go before words and they have meanings inside of the word. For instance, at the beginning of a word can mean I am. Like, what's your tribe? Ephraim. Ephraim in Hebrew translates to I am fruitful. Paryam. Is I am. Paryam is fruitful. That's what that means. Ba is a house, but the preposition is in. So a lot of times you'll see Bahasham, in the name of. Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Right? Then Ga is not one. Ga can be used as do in the beginning of words usually. Ha is one of the most common ones. Ha is the. The letter Ha is the. Right? And you'll see it constantly. So far we got ba, ga, da, ha. Now this is what I wanted. Wa. Wa, as a preposition, is and. David's name, when you literally write it, is either. There's what you'll see, Salakia.
Oh, you good? Good.
Okay, come. This is what you'll see when you write it in the Assyrian or look it up in the Assyrian. Right? You might see a yad somewhere in there, but usually this is commonly David's name. Right? Translated back to ancient Hebrew, this is how you would write David's name. This is literally David in Hebrew. As I just explained, this word means and as a preposition. So basically, when it came time to make a symbol that for his men to be known that they're standing with him, he took his name and said, yo, the name itself is basically telling me, combine the two D's in my name. Okay, to give you an example that everybody knows, oh, you're Ephraim, so you know this. Where were you raised?
New York.
What part of New York?
Here.
What, Harlem?
Right here, then upstate New York.
Okay, copy. You know this symbol very well. Same thing.
New York Yankees.
Right. It's the same thing. Come.
Volkswagen.
Vote. Thank you.
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton. Right? I don't really buy Louis like that, so I forgot how the symbol actually goes, but yeah. God. That's all it is. He combined his name so that people know who it is and made it into a signature. A signature that was. The thing that makes this symbol so great is the works and achievements of David. David united the entirety of all 12 tribes underneath himself at a time when we were fractured. No one had technically ever done that before. David had such a name behind him, even centuries later, during beef, like after years of beef, when the Northern Kingdom no longer respected him, you can still find them repping this symbol here in the Americas. That's how much power this symbol had. They stopped messing with this family ages ago. but you'll still find records of it today and in pre-Columbian history. Why? Because of the great work this man did. And you idiots try to take his holy symbol and say it's a goddamn, what is it, star of a demon or some crap? Right? So that's that. Right? Abba Gada Hawa Za. Za. And you're noticing a lot of these letters are as we know them today. If they aren't the exact match of the letter they are today, you know a letter they correspond to. This is like an F and an E combined. This basically kind of looks like a D, except it ain't curved. And I believe the original delta in the Greek was also a triangle, if I'm not mistaken, or something triangular. Khan. This is a Y. This being Y eventually changed. Za. Now, and here's another thing. The Jewish man tries to tell you that this is a V. Nowhere. Like, they'll tell you straight up. Anyway, if you ever look up the Vav, what they call the Vav, they call it the Vav. But when you look it up, they'll tell you, no, it evolved from the Wa, which would have been pronounced like a wine. We have the truth. Y'all don't know the Bible. Awaza, Ka, Ka. Ka. Salakia. I'll be losing it myself. Ka. Right? This one is a wall. Ka. Okay, you always kind of want to pronounce it like a Cha sound. Cha. Right. I got it in my head. Okay. Cha. Ooh. Cha. Ta. Yeah, Cha. Ta. Right? Yeah. Yeah is basically he, usually for verbs. It's my at the end of a word. Okay, which is a suffix. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Kataya ka. Ha! And this is why I do not like Assyrian. Okay, so let's get these buff out the way. I read this first. Okay. And Tayaka, right? So the thing about Assyrian, which is not actual Hebrew, so we can get this out the way. Can we say the C word now? Or no? C-O-N. C-O.
C-O.
R-A-C. R-A-C-C-O-O-N.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You could use something else.
Okay. Sellouts, idiots who thought it was, idiots who said if we change our language to look similar to theirs, the police will stop shooting us. Thousands of years ago during the time of the Assyrians. Basically like today, Reza said a few years ago, if we dress better, the police wouldn't kill us. And then people bombarded his social media with pictures of brothers being hung in suits.
Sellout is a better word than
Sellout, yeah. This is where we get this from. This is not Hebrew. This is not what our ancestors created. However, it is what most ancient records are printed in today. For that reason, we teach it. With that being said, for whatever reason and whoever's great wisdom, Assyrian, the letter changes if certain letters change at the end of a word. For really no reason. There is no Hebraic Shemitic reason in the language to do this. It must more than likely be an Assyrian trait that we just carried over when we adopted their writing system. I have found no Hebraic reason, nor have I researched such. Esau hasn't even said there's a Hebraic reason. It's just how this language operates, or how this phonetic system rather operates. Ka. So this is the Ka, not to be confused with Kha. Khataza. Kwa. Krogabar. Katat. Crash. Katamgabar. Right? Ka. Ka. Are you going to slip up sometime? Yeah, pretty much. We're still learning the language. So the point is to get the feel. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a second, because there's one no one does correctly. I personally try to, but as far as reading, I don't even try when I read, personally. How about God? Kala. La. La is a preposition that means to. So, La Yasharala, to Israel, which means to Israel. Shucks. Let me get through this. Can I get a time check, sir?
7:25.
25? Oh, yeah, we got plenty. Okay, La, meaning to. Ma. Ma is a preposition meaning from, of, or from. So let me get you the two ma's. And ma. Ma. Na. And notice, even the placing of these letters pretty much stayed the same. Crazy. Oh, wait, I want to put it. So these are the main letters. This is the secondary letter. I'm gonna just put them in a box so you can make out which is which. Ma, na. This is regular na. This is like, yeah. And the word na, ana, sa, sa, na, sa, I. And yes, I probably is where the word comes from. More than likely. Ayun is I. This is Ayun. I forgot. Yeah, Ayun. And it means I. This is an I. The letter I means I. The letter I is an I. The letter O is an I. They connect. I don't know how, because, okay, researching this letter, it's a breathing sound, not a blowing sound. That's what the Britannica will tell you. This is a breathing sound, not a blowing sound. When you do that, you're inhaling. Oh, that's a blowing sound. They're telling you straight up, oh, this letter is an I. This is a breathing sound, not a blowing sound. John. Yeah, John. So I press it, and this is how it's pronounced. I, literally. And understand, this is a completely consonantal language. This functions as a consonant. The I and the ah are never put with any other verb, any other salakia consonant or letter to change the structure of the letter.
You mean of the word?
Well, really the letter, meaning like go, ga, guy, that's what verbs do. Meaning, what's called I and ah don't function like that. That a verb functions to change the way a letter sounds, a consonant sounds. Like in lake, without verbs, look. There's no I or a to differentiate. That's what a verb is for. In Hebrew, there's no such thing. They try to use wa and insert it in certain places because Jewish people can't speak like that. We have half a brain. We understand this thing called context. Yo, you want to go? Yo, me and my rib went down to the look. You mean the light? Obviously not the light. The lake. We don't need vowels in order to understand context. We just understand context. And that's the point. So you got I, right? So I, pa. Pa. Pa has two. Yeah, this is why I do not write Assyrian. I do like with a passion, do not like Assyrian at all. I pray our oppressor gets dealt with so I no longer have to see this. Right? Pa, this is a mouth. For those that don't know, the letter pa it just has a ha at the end. Pa is mouth. Right? Pan is face. No. Panya is. No, pan is face. Panya is like in my face. Like in my face, basically. Like alawat panya. Technically speaking, it's general in my face. General in front of me. Right? Pa. Tazan. Now this is the one. I just said it wrong. That is not how you say this word. There's a famous dish that Jake loves. Moab makes it. Chinese. Khan.
General Tso's chicken.
You said it right. Jake says it General Toast chicken. This is a letter. Okay, let me get it in the lock you. Let me just do that first. And then Salakia. Taza. Now, for teaching purposes, it is completely fine to say it like this. Right? However, you do kind of want to get in the habit of za. Right? It's, like I said, this is completely fine. Right? This is completely accurate. However, technically speaking, the way the word should be translated or should be spoken is like Zaryak. Zalai, which is red. Red. Zaryak. Zalai. Right? You want it to flow. Really, in actuality, you want everything to flow. That's Hebrew in a nutshell. This is Hebrew. Say that. Shlom. There is no vowels. This is why people call this barbaric. That's Hebrew. Like you be thinking that's how we spoke. There's no vowels. There's no interchangings inside of the speech. It's all one consonant flowing into the next. And look how Jake speak now. With one. What's up? We shorten it down, we take everything and say, this is too long to say. Like you said, sakwa. That's some long ass word nobody says. And even if you do say it, that lets you know you probably ain't actually Haitian. Or you probably are somebody who was taught this language and not someone who speaks it fluently. Khan.
I hear you guys say Khan, Ottawa, Khan.
Right.
But I don't hear Ottawa from you guys.
What
do you, is that the thing?
Okay.
Shortening it?
Because once you get familiar with it and you know what you're really, one thing I'm trying to get y'all, I mean, it's getting there, but that's a little harder. I think every brother, once you get past the Paso, after your first Paso, you know how to say Yah B'Shem Shemach like nothing. Like, because you got to say it so many millions of times. I remember when the first time I ever heard the no salute breakdown, Qadash raised his hand and said, yeah, that we need that for Passover. Like, yeah. I'm like, wait, why? And then I went to Passover. I'm like, oh, I see, like, like, yo. So, yeah.
To be a push-ups too for Passover.
Oh, yeah, John. Sure. So this is really what you're saying. So you really want to get in the habit of saying Zara. It's a lie. But because we are all running, Taza is 2 out. Next is Ra. Ra. Salakia. I got it in my damn hand. Ra. Ra. Sha. Sha is basically that, like Shabbat Shemayim, that is in. Sha, that is in. Sha, and then Ta. Ta is a mark. Ta is you or her for vowels. No, for verbs. In the beginning of a verb. You or her. Ta. Right? So all together we have A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Shocks. Next one. Hala. Make some space. The lobby, this is where I gotta go back sometimes. Qua. Qua. Ra. Sha and Da. Salakia. All right, that's all of them. That was my bad, Joe. Gotta go back. All right, that's to let you know you should always stay sharp. Always remember Christ study. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get y'all a minute to get all that. Shalom. One. All right. Quora. Yatzar. Right. Take a picture. Yeah, come. I bud you. If you ever notice I say it like that, I bud you. I don't necessarily say it often. Because understand these are like training wheels, so we can better understand how to chaza. All right. So I'm about to get this over with. Check this off. So we
I have to, if I may, ask. You could erase. I have to ask upside Bacha that, but. This is what I noticed. Do you notice the same that sometimes because of the English, it could have, how we pronounce things could have a English influence.
Yes, yes.
For example, when we say shalom, with Levi who don't speak English,
right?
When they say shalom, right, brothers, in the school and sisters that came, learning,
right,
they will say sha. They don't say shut. You see how we say shut?
Yeah, right.
That's sha. I feel like that's like a English influence.
Right.
They don't say shut. They say sha, shala,
right,
shala,
right.
right. Ada one. I would say ada.
Right.
Right.
Right. Okay, now here's the thing about it. To a point, you're absolutely correct. Here's the thing, I wouldn't fix it because you don't know where that comes from. That could be of the Most High because you're familiar, we had accents. Like each tribe had their own accent.
Yeah.
That was even used during wartime. Like basically, so you can understand how Benjamin has a problem saying TH. They usually say TR. Like what's it called? You can't. No, it's TR. They can't. They have a problem saying. Like say the number 3 to number 3. Like they have a problem saying TH, right? During wartime, I think it was Ephraim and Manasseh. Basically, their problem was Sa and Shah. They said everything. They didn't use Shah. They constantly used Sa. Say Salawam, Shalawam. And y'all, I'm actually pull that. I'm bringing that to brothers' attention. Niggas got killed for technically saying Shah. Okay, so when it comes to things like that, way brothers and way tribes may say it, could be just how that tribe naturally talks and how even when you beat French into them, certain mannerisms in how they've been speaking for the last millennia could never be changed. So now that they're getting their language back, once again, it can't be changed. So I wouldn't necessarily stress it because, like I said, that's a factor. So now I'm gonna get y'all ready and try to help y'all out because a lot of y'all young men probably will be expected to come up this Saturday to read 7 verses. So we're gonna help you out with those 7 verses. Okay. Okay, so let's get to the verse. We're going to be in Leviticus 23 and 1. Hold up 1 second. Let me get the... Okay. We're going to get the first few. Some you should really know. These first few are really Torah vocabulary words. These are words you are literally going to see pretty much any time you pick up the Torah. Anything after Genesis, you will see these words.
Right.
The bar, speak. Right? To speak. Salakia, like I said, I'm not a fan of ancient, of Assyrians, so I'm already just be doing ancient. Salakia. Salakia. So, well, just because I love y'all brothers, because I know y'all need it for tomorrow, because y'all gonna have to see what you're saying. The bar, this is the bar in Assyrian. This is what you're gonna see Sunday, Salakia, not tomorrow. Okay, the bar, meaning to speak. Okay, this is another one. Masha. We're going to see this word a lot. Technically means drawn from water, but we're not going to get that. We're just going to get what it is. Moses. Okay, in the ancients. Masha. Now, like I said, these first few are just words you are going to see all throughout the Torah. right? Literally, you will see this everywhere. Okay. Masha. Masha, right? Masha, which is Moses. Amar, which is say, which is a little different than speak. Right? Amar. 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 That's Amar, right? To say. Right? This is okay. These are three of the most common words you'll see in the Torah. Right? Another one is ah ha. Well, technically no. It's two ha's. There'd be two H's. One ha. Aharon. Tell you guys what that is. Aharon.
Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron. I'm gonna double check, but to my knowledge, Esau is not sure what Aaron means.
You say what?
Esau is not sure what Aaron means.
Esau is not?
Is not sure what Aaron means. Like when you look up Aaron, it'll tell you we're not exactly sure.
Oh, Esau is.
Yeah, he's not sure what Aaron means. Yeah. So I'm gonna double check to see if we've made any progress on it. There's things that we have that Esau either just doesn't know or just doesn't like. Peter is Tazawar. So the word, because there's a few words for rock or stone in Hebrew. We've narrowed it down, it's Tazawar. Certain letters in the Greek is multi-letter, like AE. You might look up ancient books, Aethiopes. Aethiop, right? Or AE in some other word. That's from ancient Greek. The A and the E used to be combined. The same thing with the P and the T. The P and the T were combined, and then when you understand that the W was to them considered a vowel, it would be kind of phased out or changed into a different vowel. In that instance, you get basically an E. Because of that, you get PTR or PTER, when it should actually be Tizah War. So that's it. So his name is Tuwara. So his name is, God here is the rock. Or technically in Hebrew, Shemai one Tazawar. That's how you technically say Simon Peter in Hebrew. Shemai one Tazawar. I'm not exactly sure of your name. I'll look it up. Maybe if we have time tonight. How to say your name in the Hebrew. Thomas. I know a few of the disciples. Andrew is Ayash. Bar is like Bar something, like son of somebody. Son of Bartha or somebody.
Like Matthew is
like
Nathaniel.
Yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, kind.
Because my rib is Mathaniah.
Mathaniah.
Be like you would say for a sister.
Right.
Because his name means, I believe, blessing from the Lord.
Oh, okay. Blessing from the Lord.
Matthew, God.
Matthew. Oh, okay, like a gift, Khan. Khan. Okay, so this is Aharon. Now you're gonna get into the main words you're gonna need. Okay. I'm sure I'll get that later. Mawai. Okay. Ma wa I. Right? This is feast. Slaki. This is feast. Feast. So that's ma wa I. Now, Salakia. Well, I now, well, alright. Right, my wife. And this is a phrase. This is a phrase you're going to see all throughout the scripture. Ma, quara, Salaki. Let me write that a little better. Salaki, somebody got to fix this. Ma, quara, Qadash. Holy. Salaki, sir, if you could look up the word convocation, the definition.
What is it? Convocation?
Yeah, convocation, sir. Okay, holy convocation. So in the Hebrew, that would be ma, qua. Let me write that a little bit so people see it. Ma, qua, ra. Ma, qua, ra. Salaki. Convocation. Right now, since it's barely any space, I'm gonna write it in the Assyrian here. Ma, qua, ra, qua. You got convocation?
Come on, looking up in the Strong. I got a definition for you. In the Strong Convocation, H4744.
Right.
Something called out at its public meeting, the act, the persons, or the place. Also a rehearsal, assembly, calling, convocation.
Okay.
From 7121, or primitive roots.
Okay.
With through the idea of accosting a person meet to call out, that is properly addressed by name, but used in a wide variety of applications.
Okay, now, using a wide variety of applications, we're going to break all that down in a second. So we got the main three that you're going to see, that you're going to see when you study the Torah. Dabar, Mashal, Amar, Aharon. Usually what you will see is Wayad Dabar, Yahweh, Al Mashal, Aharon, La Amar, which translates to, and the Most High said spoke unto Moses and Aaron, saying. Right? You will find this literally all throughout the Bible, all throughout the Torah. Anything past Exodus, that is all you will find. Right? Now, specifically in this verse, we are covering the feast and feast days. So we have the one word for feast, mawa'id, right, which comes from the word for time, and the other, makwara Qadash, right? So, hold up. Ooh, Salakia. So let's get this, Salakia. If y'all are still getting that, y'all can rewind the tape right quick after this is done. Alright, Salakia, let me put the what's it called for Mawa'id. Salaki, bear with me 1 second. Now, Mawa'id, 4151. Mawa'id is 4151, right? So let's see what the root is. Salaki, 4150. Salaki, 4150. Right? A fixed time or a season, meaning basically from time. It's from 3259. 3259. Yaid. Khan.
What is that last thing you put on the bottom left?
This one.
Yeah, what is that?
This is the Assyrian of this. Makwara Qadash. Makwara Qadash. Right? Yaid. Right? Meaning a verb to fix upon. Meaning time. Basically, what's it called? Hold on 1 second. Let me get it exactly. Right? Ma'id is time, right? Ma'id meaning timing, right? A certain timing in the present, this present time, right? That's what this means. Time in the present. Ma'id, right? Keep. Any questions so far? Okay. Now we're going to go on and get a few of these actual feast days. Okay. Now, Khan. So now that we covered wide, Makwara, Qadash. This, as I said earlier, ma is a preposition, just like in here, I'd. It can be time. I'd is time. Ma'id is like a bit different. Okay, Makwara comes from Quara. Quara is just the verb to call. We have a brother in the school, Quara. It means the Most High calls. Quara. So what you're really saying when you say Makwara, what you're saying is Makwara from a call, or right? From a call, or dealing with a call. This is dealing with a call, an assembly. Someone called you to this, right? It is a separate call. This isn't a call that your boss gave. This isn't a call that your man gave to come out to play. This isn't a call from one of your shorties that you're ignoring, right? This is a call, a call from the federal government that you are required to be inside of the Capitol 3 times a year. This is a call from the federal government that you are to be off your slavery at sundown every Friday. This is a call from the federal government that you must not work this Sunday into this Monday. Now, if you cannot get off, or you need those days, or you need the hours, do what you have to do. But that is what the law requires, right? Technically, there should be a high at the end of that. Okay. Quara. From a call. That's what Makwara means. Convocation. Okay. So we're going to get a few more of these. I'm going to erase those. Actually, so I'm going to put those up there. Next, we're going to get Slovakia. Okay. Yum is day. Oh, Slovakia. Yum is day. Not to be confused with yum, which is C. Yum is day. Right? Yum. Yum. Slovakia. Let me get it right. Yum, right? This is day. Yum. 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 A sea of days. A sea of seas. Right? Well, yeah, kind. Days. So yum. Yum. Okay. Yum yum yum. Delicioso. Slovakia.
Yum yum.
Huh?
Yum yum.
Yum yum. John. Yum yum is days. You drop the y and add the plurification, which is yam in the Hebrew. Yam yam. Okay. Okay. Salakia. Shabbat. Ba. Shabbat. Yai. Salakia. Yai. Shabbat Yai. In this instance, it's being used for seventh. But let me get that more accurately. Salaki, bear with me 1 second. Sorry. Shabaya. Okay. Okay. In this instance, it's spelled as Shabaya, or it could be also spelled Shabaya. Right? Shabai. Shabai by itself is 7. But in this instance, this is 7. Right? Well, another day we'll cover numbers. I usually do it all the time. But usually we cover numbers, but not today. Want to be redundant. You got all these cover numbers. Yeah, yeah. Shaba, yeah, I. These might be connected actually. I could be wrong about this, but I want to say it is Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, that's 7. Right? We're not gonna do it. The next one we're gonna do is definitely Shabbat. So we're clear. I'm gonna write down both. This is Sabbath. It is also literally the word for rest. Sabbath means to rest. When you look up and God rested, the Most High rested in Genesis, the 1st chapter, it'll say our higher Shabbat. Let me actually look that up so I know I'm not BSing. Hold on. Genesis 2:2. Bear with me, let me just pull that. Alright. 2:2. Got it. Yeah, it says it right here. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Why Shabbat?
Go out some more. It's not clear, but I can see it. Why Shabbat?
Why Shabbat? And it says, and he rested.
What is that? By Yawam?
By Yawam, Khan. In the end day, Ha Shabbayaya. On day 7th. Right? This is Genesis 2:2. Khan. Right? Okay, Shabbat is also rest. Right? The Sabbath is literally a day of rest. Shabbat. Salam, you're gonna write that better for y'all. Shabbat. Shabbat, right? Shabbat, which means rest, Sabbath. All right, now let's get back to Leviticus. If anybody any questions online, let me know.
No questions online.
So we're gonna do 3 now.
This work now, right?
Huh? I'm not sure. What, the heat? Oh, the cool, the air. It might. It ain't October yet, so it might. Okay, there's another word you're going to see. Matter of fact, let's cover them because he questioned it earlier. There's 2, well, really there's 3 words for what you would call work, right? The first one is the basic word for work. What to serve. Come on, this gotta get redone. The first is I buy, meaning to work or serve. The corresponding noun is the same word, I buy. This means basic. Always put it down right before I'm done using it. This is basic. Basic. Work. Right? Just any work being done, technically. Either. Right? Work or to serve. The second word that you will see for work is mala'ak. Mala'ak. This is a messenger. / angel. You can find mala'ak used for an angel. An angel is a messenger of the Most High. You'll find al-hayyam or you'll find mala'ak. Now, why am I bringing that up is because that right after Sabbath. Why am I bringing these two words up after Sabbath? Let me read 23:3 in English. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings. Right? Now, the word that is used here is mala'ak. Mala'ak in the subservient. Right? Why is this word used? Why is he saying you can do no work on the Sabbath? But he's not saying you can't do ibad. He's saying you can't do mala'ak. Is he just choosing a different word? Or is there a difference or a purpose between ibad and mala'ak? Time. And here's what it takes to beat a fake Israelite.
Right. Is it because mala'ak, the context of mala'ak is to be that type of work that mala'ak described is the type of work you would do for Amazon or
right.
Uber.
It is work that you do for another person. Ibad by itself is literally work. You know what's work? Shingling my roof. What's work? Cleaning my house. What's work? Cooking for my family. You know what all these things also can be at the same time? My peace and my enjoyment. You never had a rib who like cleaning the house on the weekends? You know your mom don't like cleaning the house on the weekends? There's brothers that usually sit there and say, I'm going to work on my project. I got my engine, I'm going to work on my engine on my days off. That's how he relaxes. That brother likes to sit there and put together a toy train. In the idiot time of the Pharisees, they'd probably kick down the door and arrest him. But man was made for Sabbath, not the Sabbath for man. No, the Sabbath was made for man, not the man for Sabbath. Salah. It work by itself is just a word. The word he's talking about, which is why he uses a specific type of word, mala'ak, is you're somebody's messenger. You are doing this work on behalf of another person, on behalf of another entity. That is unlawful on the Sabbath day. The Jewish man, do not know as a delivery man how many Jewish businesses I went into just to see either us or a heathen working when the Jewish man is gone, because he's perverted this law. Nothing is supposed to work on the Sabbath day, brother. Not even animals. In the kingdom of heaven, our slaves cannot work. So much crap as we talk about how we're going to work the oppressor to the bone. On the minute the sun sets on Friday, all white people must get off my plantation. If an overseer keeps him a minute after that sunset, I'm going to walk up to him and say, I'm sorry, brother, you got to be fired because I'm not catching federal charges for your stupidity. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. This holiday must be kept. He is working and picking my cotton for my interests. He is on that field for me. That's why he was sent there. Just like you send your messenger. I sent you to the Amazon factory. I sent you into your paper route, your mail route. I sent you into this building the guard. Right? You are a messenger. You cannot do that on the Sabbath day. That's what that's talking about. Okay. We're going to get a few of these holidays. Isupk. Passover. Isupk. Let's make it better. Isupk. Okay. Okay, Qad. Qad is also feast. Okay, so we understand. I shouldn't have got rid of it. Mawa'id is time. Mawa'id is the time. When we're dealing with feast, right? Mawa'id is how do I say it so we can all understand, brothers and sisters? Okay, going back into the world. Mawa'id is Thanksgiving, not Mawa'id is Thanksgiving. Qad is the dinner, if that makes sense. Am I explaining it right, sir? Meaning, Mawa'id, when you look up Mawa'id, and these are my feasts, these are the times that I want you to come together. However, the next one we're about to get is Qad Matazawaf. Right? Qad Matazawaf is Feast of Unleavened Bread. Qad Mawa'id is the time. Feast as in the time. This is the time we come together. Qad is, this is what we about to get down and eat. This is the feast. This is the food. Right. You will have a feast. You will have a Qad. Not you will have a time concept.
If I may, one is the appointed schedule, and
right.
The other one is the thing itself.
Right. Count. Perfect. Feast. Okay. Qad is very simple. Okay. Qad, which is a feast, right? So I'm gonna erase this at the top.
So erase.
Huh? No, I'm erasing the top. This right here. Okay.
So you want to take a picture before?
Yeah, John. All right. These cats. I don't understand what you learning if you ain't in here. All right. Qad Matazawaf. Cogmatazawaf. Okay, so that's cog. So, well, they say Hamatazawaf. Oh, so for those that don't know and don't understand, these connectors help you to understand when the letters would be connected. Like Hamataza Wata, it's not Wata, it's Waf. But because we don't understand when these things are connected and when they're not connected, we add those. Tazawaf, okay, Kag Matazawaf, or feast of unleavened bread. Alright, and then we'll write it in the Assyrian over here real quick. I'm just trying to write it under it. Cog, ha, Cog Hamatazawaf, that's what you'll see in the Assyrian, right? Okay, that's what the Jewish man calls matzah, feast of unleavened bread, right? Take 20. For time's sake, we just gonna get the one we need, okay? Quatazar, I'm gonna give you two more. Yeah, Khan, I'll give it to you. Quatazar, to harvest. Okay, now the reason I'm breaking these down is to get you an understanding of how Hebrew actually operates. Okay? To harvest. There's a lot of words. There's even words we've used today that fit this mold, but I, for whatever reason, wanted to use this one. To harvest. Right? This is Quatazar. You see this for Feast of First Fruits. Quatazar. Right? Quatazar. Okay, and then in the Syrian. Quatazar. Right? Meaning the harvest. Right? Now you have another word. This word, now, so we can start to get, this is a little more advanced, not necessarily too advanced, but I'm going to teach you real quick, very simple stuff on how you basically make something what our oppressor would call past tense. You would put the yad, the letter yad, the yad, right? You would put that in between the second and last letter. The last letter and the letter before it. Okay, so qua, ta, za, yar. Technically means harvested. Right, that's a verb, right? But now this is a verb. Technically speaking, here's how Hebrew works. I harvested. Now, mind you, this is also the same in English. No, actually, no. It's a little different in English because they just took the bare verb. This harvested is also harvest. The noun. Like, let's get the harvest for this year. That's the actual thing. That's the corn you're talking about. That's the rice. That's the broccoli. The verb to harvest is harvested. And what you harvested is what we're going to call it. You bring your harvested to me. And that's what you'll find. You'll see a lot when you're talking about first fruits. Those verses, you'll find a lot. Qatazar, Qatazayar. Qatazar is when you go to your harvest and you bring in your harvest. It'll say lak Qatazar. And then I forgot how you say bring. Qatazayar. And you'll find that a lot. And that's how Hebrew's structured. Hebrew's a lot of computation, homework, misconception. You realize that's nothing but a bunch of misconception is nothing but a bunch of prefixes and suffixes. Misconception. Mis and con are what's called prefixes. Shin is a suffix, and sect. Acception, acceptance. That's how English is set up. That's how most languages are set up. Hebrew's no different. Ra'ah, to see. Mara'ah, appearance. Basically what you see. That's how Hebrew's structured. And once you start to get that understanding, it's less of from sight, which is what you technically translate from you see, which is what you translate ma ra'ah as, because ma means from, ra'ah means see. So you don't want to be in the habit of from see, you want to be in the habit of understanding, it just means sight. And then once you get that, you're starting to get it. Okay? So now you have Prophet Zayar, and then we're going to get to the words that's important for tomorrow. Salaki, I probably shouldn't have did all of them. Oh, well, whatever. The word, we already got one, yam. We're going to get the other one. Salaki. You're gonna get it. It's if the brother can read for me, it's Leviticus 23 verse.
This is good. Put it to the side.
Yeah, Con. I'm gonna tell us. I just need to drill real quick. Leviticus 23 and 32.
It shall be unto you a Sabbath.
So long, you start at 30. 28, Salaki. Actually, 27, Salaki.
Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. 28.
28, and you shall offer a fire made unto the Lord. Keep going. You shall afflict your soul. Keep going.
And ye shall do no work in that same day.
And it is advised that you not go to slavery Monday or Sunday night, whenever you have to slave. It is advised. If you have to, I would suggest try to eat beforehand and make sure your stomach is good. Keep going.
For it is a day of atonement.
It is a day of atonement, right?
To make an atonement for you before the Lord your God.
Right. Verse 29. Kapara. Okay, so now this is Yawam. Kapar. Yom. What our oppressor calls Yom Kippur. Day of Atonement. Yom Kippur, right? So that's Yom Salaki Yawan. Kapar. Yeah. A day where we afflict our souls. Okay? Salaki, let me write it in the Assyrian for y'all down here. Yawan. Kapar. Yawan Kapayam. Yom Kippur. Right now, it is a day when we afflict our souls. Okay, I'm gonna write the word basically as it is. Aina, to afflict in this instance. Afflict and napash, which is soul. Afflict your souls, right? Aina, Salakia. Napash. Napash. Napash is soul, right? Aina is afflict. Right? So that is what's going down this weekend. Right? We will be afflicting our souls. We will not be eating, having any food or drink. We will be going over further next this Sunday. Check out class. Okay, so now, next part of this is the cadence. You often hear us say things in the Hebrew. If you need this, I'll give you 2 seconds. We are going to go over how to say all of those things in Hebrew.
232. I'm sure.
God, I'm going to run through this real quick. This is cool. You got it all?
No.
Oh, God.
So that.
Yeah, God.
Let me take a picture. That's an easy one.
Yeah, God. I wish I gotta get all of these. Okay. Salaki, y'all, for time's sake. You got these top ones? Okay, God. You want Kaparium and all that? Okay, God. Alright. Okay, while he's getting these last few, I'm gonna use this top part. Okay. So we have the cadences. Right? Now, these are the things that we usually say, usually after a council or a meeting of some sort, even after camp at times. Okay? Now, first thing we say usually is, dismissed. Who's the power? Who's the power? To say that would be Maya Salapia. Maya, Allah. So I'm gonna write these for time's sake in the ancient. Maya, Allah. Maya, Allah. Who's the power? Right? Okay. We know. You try to write the answer or not? Y'all.
You can.
Okay. Okay. Most High. And in the name. Wait, hold on. Shucks.
What's those first three letters?
Huh? The Most High.
The Most High.
TMH. Most High in the name of Jesus is the power. Okay, so Yahweh. Hold on. Salakia, hold on 1 second. Maya. Okay, God. Salakia. Naba. Hashem. Yeah. Wa. Shah. Salakia. Be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai of Allah. Be the power. Most High in the name of Jesus is the power. Right? Okay, for those that are a little confused, you'll understand what the author is. I was just trying to make sure I was placing everything right. If I'm not mistaken, that would be the right way to pronounce it. Now, technically speaking, you could probably say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Allah, but to be a little more specific, to let people know what you are saying, what's it called? Added higher to it, which means is basically. A lot of times you do not see higher. A lot of times high is not necessarily used unless it's important. We're gonna run through these. We almost done. This ain't gonna take long. The rest of them are easier. So that was the longest sounding one. You got I nod in the pot by now, right? Okay. All right. That was a phrase, so that's why that's kind of at the bottom right there. Okay. Now, what's next? Who do you fear? The proper way would be the Father. Who do you fear? Okay. Maya, Yaraka, Yara, Yara, Raka. Maya Yaraka. So in Hebrew that would be Maya Ya Ra Ra Ka. Maya Yaraka. Yaraka. Right? I might have pronounced that wrong and maybe Yaraka and not Yaraka. But Khan, that's how you pretty much pronounce it. Yaraka. Who do you fear? Who? Maya is who? Right? This right here is who? Yaraka, Yara is fear. And this is you at the end of the word. You. Right? Who you fear? Who do you fear? Do wouldn't necessarily be spoken. Who do you fear? The answer is the Father we fear. And that's simple. Now, look how short this is. Ha. Abba. Ra. No. Yara. I never connected. Those two. Maya. Yara. No. Maya Yara. No. Right? The Father. The Father. Father. Fear we, or we fear. The Father we fear. Next, who's your king? Who your king? Maya. Let me lower it a bit. Who's your king? Maya. Malaka. Maya Malaka. Okay, so that's Maya Malaka. So Maya Malaka. Malaka. Right? King. Malak, like Malik, and I believe Malik is Arabic. That's king. Or to rule, or the verb to rule. This is you, or in this instance, your. Maya Malaka. Now, I'm messing a lot of these up. When you're doing these, a lot of these should have a ma at the end. Because these are usually said to a group. Okay, and I'll cover that at the end. So I'll get those right. Salaki, that's my bad because I should have did that from the beginning. Who's your king? What's the answer? Huh? Right. Simply just Yahawashai is the answer. And if you didn't know how to spell that in Hebrew, I already spelled it earlier, but Sabta Yahawashai. Yahawashai. And last but not least, what's your name?
Can you put the transliteration for the Father we fear up there as well?
Oh, sorry. Got it. Ha, Abba, Salakia. Ha, Abba, Ya, Ra, now, Ya, Ra, now. Ya, Ra, now. Ha, Abba, Ya, Ra, now. Salakia, let me write it. I'm going to write it low. Okay, what's your name? And that is my Shamka. My Shamka. What name you or your? What is, like I said earlier, is hardly ever spoken. So what you got technically, what name you? What name you? What your name? That's how we speak. What your name? What is, we don't say what's your name. What is your name? It's what your name. And I'm going to go into what I mean about us changing up languages in a second because that goes into why I messed this up. My Shamka. What's your name? So that would be written Ma Shamka. Ma Shamka. What's your name? The answer is Israel. Ya Shar Allah. And that in Hebrew is ooh, shucks. Ya Shar Ya Shar Allah. Ya Shar Allah. So now I'm gonna fix this. real quick up here. This ka, real quick, is singular. Ka. Ka. No, I'm not erasing it yet. Ka equals you, singular, at the end of a word, right? This is you, singular, at the end of a word. Just you. What's your name, right? Now, something we lose in English, but you speak Spanish, brother?
No.
Okay. You know a little bit of Spanish or not? Okay, maybe what's called Creole. Y'all have y'all, naturally.
Y'all,
You speak a little Spanish? You're familiar with ustedes?
yeah, yes.
I know there's probably a French version, but is there a Creole version?
In Creole, to do that, you will put yo, Y-O. That's how you will.
Okay.
You will
Because
put something as plural.
right, because you know with English, Judah gave them y'all. There is no you. There is no plural you in English. We basically gave it to them by saying you all, and that's even too much. Like we went into earlier, we short things as much as we can. That became too much for us, y'all. Right. There is no y'all in English, but in Hebrew, you or all, or you in the plural sense, it does exist. In that instance, ka becomes calm. You, plural. Okay, so I'm bringing that out because that's what I kind of messed up on the cadence. When you're understanding this and you're saying this, what you want to understand is you want to say it. The person saying out the cadence would have to say the cadence to a large group, obviously. So they'd say calm instead of calm, even though I accidentally wrote it. So really what they'd be saying is, Maya Allah, who's the power? Yahya Salakia, Haya Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Allah. Meaning, the Most High in the name of Yahweh Shai is the power. Right? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is the power. Who do you fear? Maya Yarakam. Right?
I don't think you wrote this.
Right.
Transliteration for that.
Khan.
You could put it right under it.
Right, Khan.
Don't erase it.
Yahweh. Aha. Shem. Yahweh. Shai. Khan. Haya be the Most High in the name of Yahweh Shai, the power. Right? Okay? Now, who do you fear? Maya Yarakam. So, right? You'd want to put Yarakam. Right? Come, and that's you. Plural you, right? Who do you fear? Ha'aba yara'ana. Ha'aba yara'ana. Maya yara'akam. Ha'aba yara'ana. Who do you fear? Who do y'all fear? The Father we fear, right? Or the Father fear we, right? Who's your king? Maya Malaka. Maya Malaka. Maya Malaka. Yahushua. Yahushua. Maya Malaka. Yahushua. Maya Yahushua. Maya Yahushua. Who Yahushua? Who Yahushua? What's your name? Mashamka. Mashamka. Yashrala. Ma Yashrala. Ma Yashrala. Ma. And I forgot. I'll ask again about dismiss, but Khan. But that's it. Who's the power? Who do you fear? Who's your king? What's your name? You want you to get a picture of that? I'm probably about to get a picture of that myself. You got any time? Well, basically that's it. With that, I pass the class over to priest and officer Yatazar Yala. Sir.
Shining oil, the power. Sign Christ. Clap it up for the class.
That's how I can feel something.
That was your honor. Sign Christ. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I Majum Shabbat, I Majum Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Tum, Yachmata. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters that may be watching. I Majum Shabbat, I Majum Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatam Ba Hashem Yahweh Shah, Yachmata, dismiss.
That's our church. So I don't know nothing does.